Psalm 70. Hasten, O God, to save me. Come quickly, Lord, to help me. May those who want to take my life be put to shame and confusion. May all who desire my ruin be turned back in disgrace. May those who say to me, "Aha, aha," turn back because of their shame. May all who seek you rejoice and be glad in you. May those who long for your saving help always say, "The Lord is great." But as for me, I'm poor and needy. Come quickly to me, O God. You're my help and my deliverer. Lord, do not delay. That's it, Psalm 70. It's a short, simple psalm. But what I love about it is just, I guess, the simplicity, but also its honesty. There's this simple honesty to the psalm that grabs my attention. And I want to just use three words that I've spotted in the psalm that grab my attention to help us to pray. And the first of those is the word quickly. And we see that in verse 1. Hasten, O God, to save me. Come quickly, Lord, to help me. I wonder if you can remember a time when, maybe you're in a time right now when you've just been going through a really tough patch. You've just been longing for resolution, longing for the end of what you're going through. And you might have heard someone say to you, you just got to trust in God's timing. Or, God's timing is the perfect timing. And there can be some truth in that, can't there? But what's interesting in this psalm is that David isn't waiting for God's perfect timing. David is praying for God to come quickly. God, come and help me now. And the reality is it can be easier sometimes, can't it, to pray more like, God, would you come and do this thing when you're ready in your own time? But it could take more faith, I guess. It can be more of a risk to pray, God, would you come and do this now? Because we open ourselves up to that place of vulnerability where maybe it doesn't work out exactly how we want, or it seems to me that's sometimes the place where faith leads us to go, to pray for stuff to come quickly. And so I'm led to pray for myself and maybe just people I know who I love who want to pray for God to intervene and for him to do that quickly. The second thing that strikes me though is this word, well, it's a few words really, I, me and my, which this short psalm is littered with. God save me, help me, those who want to take my life. It's littered with these words which can seem on the surface quite self-centered. Can seem a bit self-pitying, demanding. I had a conversation recently with someone who we were talking about praying for ourselves and the fact that it can sometimes feel a bit selfish. But the psalm reminds us that God doesn't normally just barge into our lives. He waits to be invited. That's why we pray. But also it's a reminder that it's as we pray that we begin to see answers to our prayers and that bring transformation in our lives, which can then in turn become stories that we can share with others, through which they can see the fingerprints, the beautiful fingerprints of God's activity in our lives. Which leads me on to my third word, verse 4, rejoice. But may all who seek you rejoice and be glad in you. David is seeking in this psalm God's help. But as he does that, it's like God helps him to zoom out and to see his situation, to see the bigger picture, to see what he really wants out of this situation, which is not just his own deliverance, but he wants everyone to see the God who saves. He longs that the people around him would witness the beautiful fingerprints of God's saving help in his life, that everyone who calls on him would be saved and would cry out, "The Lord is great." And so I'm reminded by this psalm to pray for myself, to pray for God to come quickly, but also to pray for God to help me have the perspective that as I'm doing that, what I really want is for his transforming activity to be seen by the people around me, for his transforming activity to be seen by my friends, my family, who maybe don't know him, but if they were to see those answers, if I was to be able to spot what he's doing and articulate that and share that with them, the power of what that could do for them. So that's how I'm going to pray this psalm. Encourage you to have us a read and a pray, and God bless. I'll see you next time.